Ladies and gentlemen, I am late! I am so sorry. What, Kento, how did you get in here? How'd you get in here, boy? Hold on. Hey, Kento, come here. Hey, boy, hi. I love you too. Yeah, I love you too. Go see Mom. Hey, Daniel, good to see you too. Hey, good to see you too. Hold on, give me a sec. Let me close my room door. I know y'all excited. All right, we are here. The boys bombarded me all of a sudden. I guess my room door wasn't completely closed, so they just decided, drop through, but... Yo, peoples! Qushu 92 here, and welcome back to more One Piece. YouTube really does need to add an option to edit stream times through your phone, because I used to be able to do that, and now suddenly we no longer have the ability to do that, and you have to go like on the internet, then pull up the studio page, but don't put it in mobile mode, put it in desktop mode, and then you're able to edit it that way. I had the hardest time trying to get that to work, and it wouldn't work anymore. Then YouTube says like, oh, go to our suggestion box and we'll make sure it gets prioritized. And I'm thinking, that should be something that's basic already. So now we're here. So it's good to see you, Ravi. Good to see you, Ozzy. Good to see you, Halster, you been good? We haven't seen you in the Discord. I wanted to make sure everything was okay, because you're usually, everyone was concerned, and we wanted to make sure that you were okay. We haven't heard from you since yesterday, but it's good to see you. And I'm seeing comments. Also, Ozzy, I saw your comment about Gabin and Ripley. You goated for that. You would applaud that. You would. Doesn't surprise me that you of all people would applaud that. Don't let Q deceive you. That was no joke. Ozzy was truly cooking. Sure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a brand new chapter of One Piece today, and it doesn't show that we're going on break. Last we left out on, we finally got introduced to yet another member of the Roger Pirates, who is still living, who has also been shown and basically described to be just as powerful as Rayleigh and Roger. Now, my thing is, Roger, during his time, was fundamentally one of the most powerful pirates, or basically just powerful people in the entire world. And to realize that when the Giants are speaking of Rayleigh and Scupper Gabin, they are essentially saying these two people were really they matched Roger in strength. So not only was Roger just straight busted, Roger was him. Rayleigh was also him, and now we know that Scupper Gabin was him. Many of us speculated that he was on par with Rayleigh due to the little flashback we got of the Whitebeard pirates going up against the Roger pirates, and Scupper Gabin was the only one who stood right next to Rayleigh. So you can tell how powerful a person is just by how they position themselves in the fight. When you have a person that's out in front, like you have the big guy, you have Roger out in front, then you have someone standing next to him, but the rest of the crew is all behind him, you can kind of get a visual aid, a visual guide on just who is the strongest. So you got Roger, then Rayleigh, then Scupper, and then everyone else. So now, we also find the key for Loki, and Scupper Gabin takes the key and says like, okay, if you want this key for Loki, you're gonna have to take it from me. So now we have the Straw Hat crew who are going to be going up against a former member of the Roger Pirates, one of the strongest crews in the world. Now Luffy has to somehow prove himself that he's worthy to take that key and, potentially freeing Loki. So let's begin with chapter 1140. Scupper Gabin! And just like I thought, Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest, Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume 26, Ulti. If anything happens to Pepe, I'll hunt you to the depths of hell and beat you to death. So, just like I basically confirmed, the two people who are currently being held hostage and being threatened in Who's News Place. In Who's New Place is in fact Ulti and Page 1. How they wound up being, subjected to this by Who's Who of all people remains to be seen. But I'm pretty sure once Yamato and Tama and possibly Lady Speed start chiming in, they're probably going to beat Who's Who into the ground. And if Ulti gets loose, we already know that she is very prone to just... She is very prone to violence when it concerns Page 1. And what it has here in this image is Ulti is chained up to like a dartboard. And people have been throwing swords at her. And it shows that some of these swords have kind of been finding their marks. And mind you, Ulti is far more upset than, down and out and unconscious. She has like a sword that's clipping through her right arm a little bit, so it's cut into that. She has another sword that's clipping into her hip, so that's cutting into her side. And she also has a sword that is right between her thighs, so now one is cutting directly into her leg. So, needless to say, I'm pretty sure she has plenty of reasons to beat Who's Who into the ground. Remains to be seen who is stronger, a saber-toothed tiger or a pachycephalosaurus. We'll have to see as the cover story continues. Moving on! And we have Scupper Gavin, who's still holding the key, as Luffy goes, "How come we have to take the key from you? Just give it!" Sorya, what is the meaning of this? "What's wrong? Can't do it?" "Okay, that's it!" And then Nami screams out, "Luffy!" And then they think back to Kowloon.
"My dad used to be a pirate. He can even hold his own against Elbaf warriors."
And Zoro isn't saying anything. And Luffy goes to try and grab the key. Mind you, we know how fast Luffy is. But he tries to go and grab the key, but Scopper easily just dodges out of the way. And Luffy goes, And then he starts to try and grab the key rapidly, but Scopper Gavin refuses to be caught. He's just dodging everything that Luffy is doing. Kind of like how Rayleigh was dodging the elephant when he was describing to Luffy what hockey is. "Listen, old man, I just want to get this to Loki, so I can go back to the feast." "Just take it from me, then." "I will!" And then he goes and tries to grab Scopper, but Scopper literally just shaves out of position, and he's right above Luffy, and he starts imbuing the key with hockey. Hockey! Not only that, but there's black lightning coming off of the... Scopper, no... Does this... There's black light... Now, the only reason why... When you hockey up with an object, and you don't have conquerors, there is never any lightning unless you start clashing with another person who uses that. However, when you start using hockey, and you imbue an object with hockey, and there's black lightning coming off from it, it must mean that Scupper can use conquerors. So, this doesn't surprise me at all. So when he does this, Scopper imbues the key with hockey, crackling with conquerors, and he smashes the key directly on Luffy, pretty much breaking the entire podium where the key was actually sitting. Ah! Wait, Surya!
Are you kidding me, Luffy?
And then Luffy bursts out of the rubble. Ah! And then Scopper hops back to a separate part of the room and goes, "That's a nifty straw hat you got there. It'd look better on you than that helmet, I bet." "Yeah, because it's the treasure I'm holding for Shanks. Now give me that key!" And Luffy still tries to grab Scopper, and he keeps dodging, and Scopper keeps dodging out of the way. "You're not holding on. You're only holding on to it. He didn't give it to you? The cheapskate." "No, dummy, that's not what it means. Don't call Shanks a cheapskate. You have no idea about him." "Luffy, you have no idea who this person is." And seeing as how Scopper realizes that Luffy has no idea who he is, he just laughs. And still using hockey, jabs the tooth end of the key directly into Luffy's face. That actually causes Luffy's face to basically make the shape of the key. And he's not even in Gear 5 state right now. You like to talk, boy. And then Luffy gets shoved directly into the rubble with the key still in his mouth. And then Scopper starts spinning some weapons in his hands immediately. And Zoro notices, huh? Axes? And they just spin in Scopper's hands, and he goes, Yasu Takeru. And then Luffy starts shivering. Like he immediately senses what's about to happen. And Scopper goes and swings his arms. Look out, Luffy! And Scopper slices the entire room apart. With these axes, he slices and dices the entire room. All of those treasure chests, they all get obliterated. The walls cascade and they wind up with deep cuts in them. With just with Yasu Takeru. And he cuts apart the entire room. And from the outside of the Alrest Castle, an entire section just crumbles and falls off from Scopper, the Mountain Eater. Don't even think about it, Ozzy and Holster. I mean it in the literal sense. He cuts apart this entire section of Alrest Castle. And Scopper is thinking, he's got a good crew. And Zoro already has his swords drawn because it looks like Zoro blocked a little bit of it. Because in the Zoro actually jumped in. I didn't notice this. I'm looking back at the panel now. Zoro actually jumped in and took the hit. Unlike Killer, who took the hit and was immediately bodied with his captain. This first mate jumped in and basically blocked the most of it. But this shocked both Rodo and Nami, as Luffy immediately goes Gear 5. This is an opponent that is worthy of Gear 5. That's how strong Scopper Gavin is. And he goes, let's go, Zoro! Yeah. Indeed. All in white. Gavin knows of Luffy's state. And then it cuts to the outside of the branches that, is under Alrest Castle, and the actual castle itself. Wow, were they in that? He cut apart the entire room, and they fell inside of this piece of Alrest Castle, and they fall all the way down to the underworld. And they fall all the way down, and then Luffy and Zoro immediately go in. With Zoro going, you're gonna get it now! And then there's a glint in Scopper's eye as Scopper immediately goes, I yield! And both Luffy's fists, well, actually, not Luffy's fists, but both Luffy and Zoro go sailing past Scopper. Because they were going to attack him, but he says, I give, and they just fly past him without actually attacking him. And they skid to a halt, and Zoro goes, stop playing games with us, old man. Don't get bent out of shape. It's just a joke. You can't pass this off as a joke after you tried to kill us! And? Are you dead? The key you're after is in your possession. And it shows that the key is directly behind Luffy. Luffy, if you didn't know, this man is... Don't get ahead of yourself, Rodo. If Elbaf is still intact by the time you're leaving this island, come and see me again. Wow, he's actually trying to keep the information of him being part of the Roger Pirates until basically when this adventure in Elbaf is finished. If Elbaf is still intact by the time you're leaving this island. So does this mean that we don't get to see... that we're not going to get that big conversation with Scopper until the end of this arc? That big conversation with Scopper about him being a part of the Roger Pirates, we're not going to get that until the end of this arc? If Elbaf is still intact by the time you're leaving this island, come and see me again. And then we come back to Rodo. Why would we do... And then Luffy goes, why would we do that? I never want to see you again! Yeah, you idiot. Thanks for taking us to the key, though. Oh, wait. That's... Who is that, Zoro? Why would we do that? I never want to see you again. Yeah, you idiot. Thanks for taking us to the key, though. We'll never meet again. And it shows in a flashback that Shanks came to visit Scupper. Wait, Shanks. What makes you think I'm gonna trust this guy? Good point. Do as you will with him, Gavin. And then Gavin is just smiling as he walks away with a big old cheese on his face, just like his captain. But we cut back to the school. Teacher! Look!
What? What is it?
Bird! Oh no, it's Gunko and Shamrock.
So, you see birds all the time. It's a weird bird.
And, Anji is looking up.
Where?
And it shows Gunko's arrowbird flying up to the sun world.
They even have a school.
Served up to us on a platter. And then it shows Gunko opening up her hand.
I'll make the call.
Go ahead. And she creates the summoning circle so they can do it. They can do it. The Holy Knights can do it. It's not just a Gorosei. The Holy Knights can do it.
I'll make the call.
Go ahead. And then a summoning circle appears directly on the tree branch. And then that same black lightning we see that brought in the Gorosei to Egghead, that brought in Shamrock and Gunko to inside of Allrest Castle, it explodes on the ground. And then two pillars. I thought they were just calling another person. We got two Holy Knights. Two extra Holy Knights. I thought there was just one. There's two extra Holy Knights!
All right, fine. I'm willing to go. Just give me a minute.
Where are we leaving from? Where's the abyss? And it shows one person that looks very, very hefty and another one that looks bony and lanky as if it's a bug. Where are we leaving from? Where's the abyss? We got two new Holy Knights. Oda just gave us two new Holy Knights. More! Please, sir. Please, Oda. Can I have some more? More? Oda's giving us more.
I mean, aren't we supposed to get some time to change at least? Can we have an hour? What happens with the other thing? You know, the...
Okay, let me see here.
I mean, aren't we supposed to get some time to change at least? Can we have an hour? What happens with the other thing? You know, the food situation. We're not letting God starve, are we? Hello? Weird. The signal's not working.
Holy Knight Shepherd family, Saint Summers. And it's this dude with I can't tell if he's like an elderly dude, but he's a dude that is just basically not really dressed up to be anywhere. He's still sitting in a chair. He's just sitting up in his drawers. He's got a big old jacket over his shoulders. He's got long flowing hair and a full beard as well. And I think that he got teleported along with the whole chest. Yeah, along with an entire chest next to him. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. Big trouble. I'm late. I'm very late. I was half asleep. Where am I supposed to go again? Holy Knight, Remo Shifu family, Saint Killingham. What is this? Is this a is this another dragon Zoan? And it looks like he might be awakened as well because he's got a plume of smoke around his shoulders. Is this another awakened dragon user? Kaido isn't the only one? Kaido isn't the only one? This is a whole dragon. And he's the spindly looking dude. You know what? I'm going to give him a different voice. Oh, I'm in trouble. Big trouble. I'm late. I'm very late. I was half asleep. Where am I supposed to go again? Holy Knight Remo Shifu family, St. Killingham. He's the only one out of these two that is currently dressed up. I thought we were only getting one Holy Knight. Oh, we're definitely going over this long summary for this chapter. And then Gunko is just looking, but... Then Gunko is looking, but she's also blushing, and she turns around because I guess she's, I wouldn't say embarrassed to see St. Somers in his drawers, because he's just chilling.
Huh? What is it, Gunko? Why are you in my house? Huh? Shamrock?
And that's when the both of them, both St. Killingham and St. Somers, realize that they're not back at Marijwa anymore.
Huh? We're in Elbaf? Who grabs my entire room, sofa included? I mean, really?
So this is the land of the giants. It's huge. We only need one. Why are there two of you? Because you're going back, Commander. I am. Orders from above.
Ah, so that's the deal.
Wow, Shamrock is being called back to Marijwa. So there is going to be 3 Holy Knights in Elbaf, but they're there to basically replace Shamrock.
So that's the deal.
So that's the deal.
Yes, the situation in the Holy Land is rather dire. It's all gone wrong ever since the reverie. Your presence there will be a benefit, Shamrock. So what's the situation and the mission? What were you doing in this unaffiliated country? Paying a visit to Harold's grave? Okay, got it.
And then Okay.
So what's the situation and the mission? What were you doing in this unaffiliated country? Paying a visit to Harold's grave? Okay, got it.
And then it shows Somers in clothes, like full regalia, and he has like this full suit with medals and stars on it, and he has a rose, and he has a scabbard with a spiked handle on it, like with thorns on it.
Okay, got it. You want us to kidnap some kids and take them to the Holy Land. They're too big to stuff into sacks, though.
But those without the mark cannot travel through the abyss pentagrams. It has a name. The abyss pentagrams? The abyss pentagrams? That's what it's called. We can't call them magic circles anymore, or summoning circles. The abyss pentagrams. But those without the mark cannot travel to the abyss pentagrams. That means we'll have to sail them back. And then it shows St. Killingham going to sleep immediately. And then Gunko goes,
Why you, with your powers?
oh wait,
Why you?
and then Shamrock says, with your powers, you can make it into a game. Your powers? I'm sorry, what? Your powers? What are the powers of St. Killingham for Shamrock to be like, you can turn this into a game? Huh? To be continued. Okay, so we got Scopper Gavin fighting Luffy and Zoro. Casually. Then yielding before it. strong enough to basically destroy an entire section of a giant's castle. And then we get the Holy Knights. Well, not only that, but the giant children have seen the arrow bird that, essentially, that's the end of the chapter. Let me see chat. My goodness. Let me see what you guys have said. Let's see. No Pepe, kind of kind of rough there. What page is he on? Yamato to the rescue, and best there will be retribution for Qushu once Ulti is freed. Actually, no, wait. If this leads to Ulti and Pepe joining Yamato as her own sort of scabbards of sorts, I think that could be very fun and leads to some great funny moments. Yep. Let's see. I wasn't able to go to the convention this time. I missed out on seeing Colleen Klinkenbeard for the second time. So there are 6 Conqueror hockey users in the Roger crew. Yep. Where's the 6? So, Roger, Rayleigh, Odin, Scopper, Shanks. Who is the other one? There's 6? Definitely plan on going to DreamCon. Wow, Q, can't believe you would think about that sort of joke. How immature. You don't get to talk! They fell in the underworld. Save it for when the Straw Hats finish their battle with the Holy Knights. Crazy mon. Yeah. Is that God a mythical Zorn? An awakened one too. I bet that's a full-blown real dragon that ate a human fruit. Wouldn't that be funny? Since we already have the Uo no Mi. Uo no Mi model Seiryu. Azure Dragon. Remember, the dragon fruit has the one that Kaido is using isn't the base one. It's the Azure Dragon one. So, this showing us how this one is another dragon, but it's human size, and it has like that full floating Eastern dragon type whiskers on the side. I can say that Kaido's fish fruit model Sadie Azure Dragon, it's not the only one, if this dude is to be believed. If this dude is another mythical dragon type Zoan, then that means that Kaido was not the only one. Since we already have the worthy of getting out of your chair for more. I don't know, that does not scream dragon, looks more like a yokai. How many? Okay, so you know the Long from Black Myth Wukong, the one that was complaining about his back hurting, the one that we get an entire new hub for. Picture him. That's basically him. Look at the elbow. Let's see. Oh no, I'm scrapping anyone who transports me without consent while I'm still not fully dressed. Yeah, he does look like Saint Shepherd. Wait, is a Summers guy related to Jew Peter? Hold on. I am not going to pull up different panels on my Jew Peter. Yeah, he's related to Jew Peter. Because if he's of the Shepherd family, then that means he's related to a member of the Gorosei. One of the Holy Knights is related to a member of the Gorosei. Let me go here to relationships. Yeah, Shepherd Jew Peter and Shepherd Summers. But we don't know the relationship between Shepherd Summers and Jew Peter. Though Summers looks to be older than Jew Peter, so what if Jew Peter is Summers' son? I'm still going through y'all comments and going back. Let's see, we have to remember that there is more than just one type of mythical dragon, Japanese, Chinese, medieval, etc. So yes, Kaido and Momo can't be the only Zoan-type dragons in theory. I mean, Kaido started out as a fish. Kaido didn't start out as a fish. Because he didn't start out as a fish. That's just, the mythical nature of the fruit itself. He didn't start out as a fish, so he's still a dragon. The devil fruit is literally Uo no Mi, model Seiryu. So he's already a dragon at that point, so he didn't start out a fish. That's just the name of it. But the dragon guy is awakened seahorse fruit. I don't know. He doesn't look like a seahorse to me. Abyss pentagrams. Also love how the celestial dragon helmet thing goes around his head while he's in hybrid form. Exactly. Dude still has like that bubble for a celestial dragon around his head. Even when he's out here, he still has his whole head covered because we can't breathe the air of the commoners. No, we can't do that. I like Old Man Gabbin. Oh, I love him too. Is it just me, or does Saint Killingham look like a Keating? That could be the case. Hold on. Let me pull up today's chapter. So that way we can read a synopsis. No, just go to the chapter. Sometimes this thing upsets me when it doesn't work. All right, we got a long summary, but it's not going to be as long as the last one. Luffy asks Gabbin why he needs to fight him for the key and insists... I'll read... Actually, you know what? Let me continue reading this. Bet me, be too Aussie. I want to go to DreamCon. Hopefully you're not including Buggy as one of the 6. Please don't, because it's not. He's not. I did finally someone caught on. Oh yeah, I can see it being a Western Dragon. I think either Western Dragon or Keating are the 2 most likely choices so far. Okay, so, long summary. Let me put it in landscape so I can read the whole thing. Let me get rid of these videos on the side that no one wants. Luffy asks Gabbin why he needs to fight him for the key and insists he just give it up, while Road is confused regarding his reason for doing so. Gabbin simply taunts Luffy by asking if he cannot do it, and that persuades him to jump off Road's hands to challenge him. He tries to grab the key from Gabbin's hands, but Gabbin swiftly dodges him multiple times. Luffy tells Gabbin he just wants to free Loki so he can return to the feast, but Gabbin just tells him to take it then. When Luffy tries to grab it, Gabbin jumps into the air and coats the key with Haki before bringing it down on Luffy, which damages him to everyone's shock. Luffy emerges from the rubble, now enraged, and Gabbin notices Luffy's straw hat, which he says looks better on him than the helmet he has. Luffy tells Gabbin that the hat is a treasure he is holding on to for Shanks, but hearing that prompts Gabbin to call Shanks a cheapskate for not truly giving Luffy the hat. Luffy becomes enraged by that comment and ignorantly tells Gabbin not to talk bad about Shanks when he does not even know him. Luffy doesn't even know that Shanks was literally a cabin boy to this man. This causes Gabbin... Pressing buttons I shouldn't be. This causes Gabbin to shove the key into Luffy's mouth and shove him into a wall. Gabbin then brandishes his axes and performs an attack called Yasotakeru, unleashing a flurry of axe strikes. Sensing the danger, Zoro jumps to Luffy's aid, using his swords to block the attack, which destroys part of the castle. Seeing Zoro come to Luffy's aid has Gabbin think he found a good crew. The same cannot be said for Eustace, Captain Kiddo, and Kidder! Not too long ago, we witnessed the first mate come in to protect his captain, and he got clapped just like his captain. Now, and this is from Ain't that wild? This is the second time we're seeing a first mate from another pirate crew jump in to take an attack from a former member of the Roger Pirates. Only this time, Zoro manages to deflect it. Whereas Killer, he was not. Following that, Luffy goes into gear 5th as both he and Zoro prepare to fight him. However, Gabbin announces he yields, causing Luffy and Zoro to crash. They literally tried to bum rush him, and then as soon as Gabbin gave up, they couldn't attack him anymore, because who would attack a person who surrenders? The both of them angrily demand he take this fight seriously, but Gabbin says that the key is now in their possession, since it was now on the ground next to him. Road tries to tell Luffy who Gabbin really is, but the latter asks him not to be too hasty. As Gabbin leaves, he tells Luffy that if Elbaf is still intact by the time they leave, they should visit him. However, Luffy and Zoro angrily refuse. As he leaves, Gabbin thinks back to when Shanks spoke to him about Luffy, and Gabbin asks why he should trust him, prompting Shanks to tell him to do as he pleases then. That attack was strong enough to destroy Killer's blades, apparently, to the enemy, or Punisher, should I say. Luffy, you don't even know Shanks. You know him. Boy, I changed his diapers. Luffy has no idea that he's looking at someone who Shanks respects, who Shanks served under. Doesn't know because Luffy only because the thing is, Luffy is never, there's a reason why, Luffy doesn't think things through, or at least he doesn't have inner monologues. Because think about a single time you've ever seen Luffy ever have an inward thought that you could audibly see. You can't. because Oda has always written Luffy to just be straight action. We don't need to hear Luffy's thoughts. His actions speak louder than words, or even thought words. That's the reason why you can't find a single instance where Luffy is thinking to himself at any point in this entire series. So, with that in mind, he doesn't really think in the heat of the moment. I think Gabin can handle Shanks now if they run each other again. Possibly. Because you can never doubt the strength of old dudes in One Piece. Never. Whitebeard was called the strongest man in the world, even in his 70s. Garp. Need I even have to say anything? If Roger was still alive, he'd be still throwing hands with everybody. But continuing. At the Walrus School, some of the kids notice a weird-looking bird, but Anji does not see it. What the kids actually saw was the bird-looking construct Gunko made for her, and Shamrock to land on the tree's branches. Once they do, Gunko creates the magic circle, now known as the Abyss Pentagrams. That's a terrifying name. Besides that, Luffy only thinks of two things, meat and Pirate King. Pretty much. And the thing is, he audibly says that, so we can't even tell if he even thinks about that. He just says, I want meat! I need to eat some meat! And I'm gonna become king of the pirates! We can't even tell if he even thinks these words. He just says it. It's like a verbal tick for him. At the Walrus, once they do, Gunko creates the magic circle, the Abyss Pentagrams. But instead of summoning one God's Knights or one Holy Knight, she ends up summoning two, Saint Somers of the Shepherd family and Saint Killingham of the Remo Shifu family. Interestingly, neither of them were expecting to be summoned, as Somers was still in his underwear talking about the food shortage, while Killingham was in a rush to be somewhere as he is late. The two finally realized they had been summoned to Elbaf. While Somers gets stressed, Shamrock asks why two were summoned when he had just asked for one. And Killingham tells him it is because he's being summoned back to Marijois, as everything has been falling apart since the Reverie. Nothing has improved since the Reverie, and the revolutionaries basically set fire to their food supply, and also sabotaged any means of them getting food back up to the Red Line in the Marijois. Nothing has improved since then. Things have actually been getting worse for the Celestial Dragons up there. And it's so dire that they need Shamrock to come back because his presence will put some people at ease. That's how dire it is. I'm happy about it. If the Celestial Dragons are suffering, I'm happy. Let's see. Somers asks Shamrock what is he even doing here and if he was paying Harold's grave a visit. But Shamrock explains the situation to the both of them. Somers says they will not be able to stuff kids they take in a bag, while Killingham says those without the mark cannot travel through the abyss, meaning they will need to move them by ship. Shamrock, however, evilly tells the two of them that with their abilities, they can make a game out of kidnapping the children. Now, we need to discuss something about Shamrock. If you already don't think this dude is evil, when you have someone say, with your powers and your abilities, you can make a game out of kidnapping kids. Irredeemable. I'm glad we have Shanks. When you say we can make this a game out of kidnapping children, something wrong. Something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you. When you can say that so casually and smile about it, let's make it a game out of kidnapping these giant kids. So now it brings into question just what are the abilities of Killingham and Somers. Because if they both have devil fruits, one of which looks like he's already his own, do these two new Holy Knights have their own page on the wiki? Yes, they do. But yes, got a bit of bad news for these Holy Knights. You're not touching those kids over Nami's dead body. Not only that, but you got to worry about Robin as well. Don't know how deadly Shamrock is. Well, we haven't seen his strength in full, CDs. All we know is that he apparently has an awakened Zoan inside of his sword called Cerberus, which is basically the three-headed dog, Cerberus. That's all we know for right now. We have no idea. We have no idea what Shamrock's full fighting capability actually is. And apparently we're not going to see it this arc simply because he's being summoned back to Marijois. So anyone thinking that Shamrock and Zoro were going to have a fight, I guess we're not going to have that because he's going right back to Marijois. So, chapter notes. Any chance Lafitte's going to sneak into Marijois again and trying to make a deal with the Godosei on behalf of Blackbeard because of the food shortage? Ooh, that sounds like such a Blackbeard thing to do. They did organize a game back in God Valley. Yes. And that game was hunting people. The game was hunting people. Yeah, I'm saying for him to say, make it a game when a character says simple stuff like that, they mean business. I'm excited to see Somer's abilities since we know Killingham's is some sort of Zoan. Okay, so chapter notes. Then I'll look up both Killingham and, I'll look up Killingham. Chapter notes. Gavin fights against Luffy, but eventually surrenders and lets him take the key to Loki's chains. And the fact that we're not going on break from a chapter like this, we got introduced to 2 holy knights at the same time, and we're not going on break? Oh, March is about to be good. March is about to be a wonderful month. That's my birthday month. We're about to get some peak One Piece chapters in my birthday month. I'm looking forward to it. As Gabin surrenders the key, Road tries to reveal his identity to Luffy's group, but Gabin stops him for now. Which means, and just like I said, this probably means that we're not going to have a big discussion of Gabin talking to Luffy and about his relationship with Shanks and basically him being part of the Roger Pirates until pretty much the end of the arc. Because this is Oda's way of saying don't expect to see Scopper Gabin in a big capacity as far as like conversation and lore wise, simply because I'm saving him until the end of the arc. That's Oda literally saying that we're not going to have that big conversation until everything in Elbaf is done. So that's something to look forward to, the big talk of Scopper Gabin to Luffy, but we got to wait until the end. We got to wait until the end of this arc. Gabin invites Luffy to come see him again after Elbaf is safe. So my thing is, Scopper Gabin is aware that something is about to happen to Elbaf. He is well aware. Why else would you say if Elbaf is still intact, come see me again? Why are you saying that? What do you mean still intact? What are you talking about? Huh? So Scopper knows something big is about to go down in Elbaf before that moment actually starts to pop off. Either he's referring to Loki being free and possibly wreaking havoc, or something else entirely. So that's something to keep in mind for now. Let's see. As he leaves, Gabin thinks back to Shanks telling him about Luffy and encouraging Gabin to trust the boy. Shamrock and Gunko arrive at the Sun World overlooking the Walrus School. Gunko manifests a magic circle to summon reinforcements. Saint Shepherd Sommers and Saint Remo Shifu Killingham of the Gods Knights appear in Elbaf. Killingham appears to be an awakened mythical Zoan user. See? That's what I'm saying. Kaido isn't the only mythical Zoan type that's a dragon. There are multiple types, and you guys have said it as well, but given how he has that plume of smoke around him, that just shows that we're about to see a brand new type of mythical dragon Zoan. Killingham informs Shamrock that he has been ordered back to Marijois. Shamrock orders Somers, Killingham, and Gunko to kidnap as many of the giant children as possible and return them to Marijois. Killingham laments that without the mark, they cannot bring the giants through the abyss, so they must be transported by boat. Shamrock suggests for them to make a game out of it, and game has its own little page, and when I hit game, it brings us to the native hunting competition. The very same one that we saw in Kuma's backstory. So they're going to make it a game of hunting down these kids and bringing them to Marijois. Now, We don't know the full extent of Killingham's abilities, let alone Somers' abilities. We don't know if Somers is a Devil Fruit user or if he's just like a pure strength and hockey type. And, well, clearly we know that Killingham is a Zoan. We can clearly see that. He's just in his hybrid form. Very, very, very long neck and a very thin, long body. Like I said, look at Black Myth Wukong where you get the old long, like the, what is his name? Not the blue long, but the old long that gives you access to the hub world where you get all the animals there that help you out, you know, Shoe Dog, and then the monkey, and then the Yen Tiger. He basically is shaped like him. So that's what we got. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up Remo Shifu Killingham. See if there's anything of note there. All right, let's see. Saint Remo Shifu Killingham is a member of the God's Knights and a world noble belonging to the Remo Shifu family. Saint Killingham is a tall man of lanky proportions. So far, he has only been seen in his hybrid Zoan form, which depicts him as a humanoid dragon-like individual with a single antler over his head and wild long hair that covers most of his serpentine neck. He has a pair of whiskers and flame-like eyebrows. So it's kind of reminiscent to Kaido's a little bit, with the antlers and the flame-like hair, and then the flowing, swirling hair and the flame-like eyebrows. It's Keating, search Keating. Let me see here. Haha. It's right here. Yeah, Ravi's right, because it says here in trivia, Killingham's general theme, from name to appearance, is based on the mythical Keating of Chinese mythology, a chimera-like guardian deity with multiple varied depictions. In Killingham's case, he appears to be based on a mixture of the creature's depiction from the Ming, long-necked, and what is it? How do I say this? Qing, and I'm trying to remember, is it Sing Cho? From the Ming long-necked and what is it? And what is it? King Draconic dynasties. Also, we just got a brand new concept in the world of we just got a brand new concept in the world of One Piece. The Abyss is a thing. It is a physical thing. There is a place called the Abyss in One Piece. And Killingham knows of it. So now we have a separate, I don't know if it's a separate dimension. I don't know if it's a separate place. But we now have a brand new location or a space of some kind. And it's simply called the Abyss. Because that's where these, matter of fact, let me pull up this page that just says the Abyss. All right, let's see. An Abyss is a type of magic circle ability utilized by the Five Elders and the God's Knights as part of their esoteric power set. The Abyss refers to an ability used by certain higher echelon members of the world government, which allows them to travel long distances, and to summon others to their own location, by using magic circles as a medium. The exact mechanism behind how this power functions is as of yet unclear. The exact mechanism behind but it is known that I was reading the same line twice. You ever do that? You ever read a line, look away, and then look at it, and you start reading that same exact line again? Hate that. The exact mechanism behind how this power functions is as of yet unclear, but it is known that only those who have the necessary mark on them can travel through the Abyss. How exactly one is marked is unknown, but this limitation means that if a marked individual wishes to bring unmarked individuals with them, e.g. abductees, they cannot traverse an abyss and need to rely on traditional means of travel, e.g. by ship. It appears that marked individuals do not have to be aware of imminent travel through the abyss if summoned by another party, meaning that their transportation may occur without them being physically or mentally prepared. So, yeah. So let's see. Trivia. A magic, by the way, as far as I know, Keating is not a dragon. It's a mix of deer, giraffe, horse, etc. Yeah, but the thing about Killingham is that he has a very draconic kind of makeup for his face. So while Kaido has the Seiryu dragon, now we have the Azure dragon, which is Kaido's. Now we have a different type of mythological dragon. So whether it's going to be one that's based off of... Matter of fact, hold on. Let me see this. Let me go to Killingham's Mythical Zoan. Not Hito Hito no Mi. Always got to zoom in the page. Okay, Fish Fruit Model Seiryu. Let me go down to trivia real quick. Let's see. The Azure Dragon. Okay. The Azure Dragon in Chinese and other East Asian mythologies is a dragon god and one of the 4 symbols. So, Kirin is a yokai, I believe. Yes, but what I mostly associate Kirin being basically horse-like in appearance, not necessarily dragon-like. More horse-like, more equestrian, if you will. Killingham doesn't appear to have that sort of appearance. Not unless this sort of Kirin has an exceptionally long neck. But I feel that if Kaido is based off of a Chinese dragon, what if Killingham is based off of a Japanese mythological dragon? Because you can't have 2 of the same types. So what if he's based... So Kaido, Chinese. Killingham, Japanese. So let me see here. Let's see. Described as representing among the Chinese constellations, representing the cardinal direction of the east. It is described as representing the spring season, Easter, and the wood element, which includes lightning and wind. Yeah. So what if Killingham is actually a Japanese dragon? Matter of fact, let's look this up as well. Let me look this up as well. Okay. Japanese dragon. Could be, I'm all for whatever, whether it's Kirin, Japanese dragon, attack helicopter zone, I'm down for it. Let's see. In Japanese mythology, dragons are legendary wingless serpentine creatures with clawed feet. Okay, what is their name, though? What are they called? What is their name? Japanese dragon is called Ryu or Tatsu. These words are written in kanji or Chinese characters. Ryu and Tatsu are both Japanese words for dragon. Ryu is the Sino-Japanese onyomi reading for the kanji, while Tatsu is the native Japanese kunyomi reading. Term Ryu is thought to be a combination of the Japanese character for lung and the Japanese word tatsu. So, now the question is, just what is he? Is he a Kirin? Uo no Mi model Kirin? Is that Killingham? I hope we continue with what they're doing here and we find out their abilities in the next chapter. Because I'm just so curious about this right now. Not only Killingham, but also what Somers can do as well. Because I can't tell if part of me wants to say that Somers is Jew Peter's dad, while another side of me is giving a little leeway. It's giving me a little leeway in thinking like maybe he's just a much older brother. Either his dad or his older brother. Because they're clearly related. But if it is the dad, and his son wound up being basically... Wouldn't that be something? Somers is the dad, but Jew Peter is the son, and yet the son wound up being a member of basically a higher grade of Celestial Dragon than even the father is. So that would be interesting. If it's a brother... then that's another thing as well. But I'm just shooting off ideas. We can talk more about this once I have my reflection stream for this upcoming Friday, because the last day of February is, the 28th. So we're definitely going to discuss more of this. Yeah, Kirin is a guardian of the 4 symbols: Azure Dragon of the East, White Tiger of the West, Phoenix of the South, Black Tortoise of the North, and Kirin in the center. Ryu, Tenryu Bito. So now I want to know just what Killingham is. I need to know. And the fact that he's awakened, okay, so he's awakened. Now, time is moving. Yeah, this month is almost over. This is the last week. Another 10 out of 10 setup chapter? Yeah, Ozzy. I got food downstairs. But remember, Qushu, Jupiter looked the same during the Ohara incident, and I think they updated his image for the recent volume cover. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So if Jupiter... Now you're making me think. Jupiter is the dad. Somers is the son. But Jupiter doesn't age. So Somers looks older than his own father. Now that's another thought. If Jupiter is the dad, and he's essentially ageless like Saturn used to be, then that means his son will have grown older physically, while Jupiter just remains the same age. Because immortality isn't afforded to basically every member of the Celestial Dragons, only to the Godosei. Oh, we're definitely going to bring this up in our reflection stream. We're definitely going to talk about this. Keep forgetting February is the shortest month of the year, so yeah, the month is going by fast. Yeah, we didn't have a lot of time in February. We got Monster Hunter dropping this month. Is Monster Hunter going to be dropping the same day as my reflection stream? Hold on. Monster Hunter Wilds. It is. Joy. I was planning on playing Monster Hunter Worlds the same day it came out. I was looking forward to playing it on the same day, but we also got a reflection stream. So, Monster Hunter will probably have to wait until the week after. Huh. Look at Somers' elbow. Hold on. Let me look at his elbow before we move on. Yeah, I see the tattoo. I can't make out all of it, though. I wish we could see just a little bit more of his tattoo. Like, more of it up close. Huh. Interesting. Hold on, let me go back. Let me go back again. Let me go to St. Somers. Because I want to see if they actually describe the tattoo on his arm. Give me a sec. It's the ship from Skypiea, the Maxim. Let me see. A tattoo. I'm trying to find out what it says something about him having a tattoo on his arm. I can't see it. Where is it? How do they don't have mention of the tattoo he has on? Hold on, we got something for trivia? No. Hold on. Did they forget to put that in? They didn't add in the tattoo. Okay, so much for getting that description. But looking at his arm, I don't see how you see the Maxim from Skypiea, if that's what you're referring to, let alone any other ship from Skypiea. I don't see that on his tattoo. It looks like a weird crosshair with symbols on it, but it doesn't look like a ship, though. Mind you, we can't see the fullness of the tattoo itself, but so maybe you're seeing something I don't, but I don't see it. And they don't even mention the tattoo on his description. Yeah, muscular elderly man with wrinkles, bulbous nose, shaggy body, long hair held in place by pigtails. and a light, short, full beard that is styled in a crucifix-shaped belief is below the mouth. The ship that falls from Skypiea when they was on the ocean, the random ship that fell out of the sky, that's on his elbow? Okay, this is when they're in Skypiea. Hold on! I'm gonna find the volume where the ship is falling out of the sky. We're gonna find that. Now, this is before they got to Jaya. I gotta go back. Here it is. Anything man can imagine is a possibility in reality. Willie Karen, physicist. Hold on. So so I see the ship you're talking about. It's right above the Mary. And I see a symbol on the ship. However, it's not a one-to-one though. It's not a one-to-one. It's not a one-to-one. Either that or it's... I don't know. Then again, given if you turn it upside down, this is a very big ship. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. No, I can't say because the designs on Somers' elbow is far more intricate than just the center of the symbol that is, in the center of his elbow. So I can't say that this ship is affiliated with Somers or is connected to Somers in any way because it's just a circle with a thin circular line around it and arrows pointing in different directions. Now, it's similar to Somers, but Somers has way more designs on top of that. So I don't know. It remains to be seen if that ship is related to Somers. It just feels like a coincidence. I feel like it's a coincidence. That's what it feels like to me. Maybe Somers added another piece of his tattoo to throw it off. I don't know. I feel like it's purely coincidental that it's kinda reminiscent of it. It's more like a straight point while the tattoo is more swirly and the ends kind of look like a flame. Yeah, like Ravi says, that tattoo might be the Abyss mark. That might actually be the Abyss mark. So I can't say, per se, it's good to have volume so I can just go back through it for you guys. I can't say, though. I can't say that that's related to that ship all the way from Skypiea, just because the symbols look kind of close, and I'm messing with my desk. I'm sorry. This was a very good chapter. Got me out of my chair. We got 2 holy knights. One of them looks to be like another mythological Zoan dragon type other than Kaido. Is this family one of the original family who were in control of a kingdom in the North Blue? Don't know. We need to know more about the Shepherd family. Because what you mean we got another member? The first family member we got from Agorose is Shamrock. Technically Shanks, because he was at the beginning of the series, but we didn't know until basically the chapter before last. But now we got a second family member of Agorose, and it's Somers. So who knows what their family was back in the North Blue. Yeah, Killing M has the same on his arm too, so that might be their holy knight mark. Hold on, let me look. Okay, so here's the thing. Let me see. So we can't see the upper portion of Somer's tattoo that's on his upper arm all that well. And I'm desperately trying to see if these symbols match up with the band that is on Killing M's arm. And we don't even know what the marks look like, because I was looking for a mark on Gunko's hand. I was looking for a mark on her hand when she opened up her sleeve, and she just created an abyss pentagram right there on the ground. So it remains to be. I can't tell. I honestly can't tell. We would need to have far greater detail of their clothes and what this abyss mark is actually like. But yeah, we'll discuss it later. Jay Garcia family as well. Saturn. Do we know all 20 families? I don't think we do. I don't think we know all the 20 families. Matter of fact, let's see. 20. The first 20. All right, so the only one we know of that is on a list that is known is the Nefertari family and the Nerona family and the Don Quixote family. So we also have, but here's the thing, we don't know the last name. We don't know the last name, Garlic. So yeah, we have the Figureland family, not the Garling family, but the Figureland family. We have the Figureland family. We have the Remo Shifu family. We have the Shepherd family. We have the Don Quixote family, the Nefertari family, the Nerona family. That's not all 20, though. Looks like a circle with a cross and horns coming out of the circle on Killingham's armband, but it's hard to tell. I know, it's hard to tell because the symbol is so small. I really need to wrap this up because I'm going to eat some food first, and then we got another chapter of Sakamoto Days, which I feel like we're getting close to the end of the flashback. So, yeah. But we'll pick up once I'm done eating. But, as far as we know, let's see, while the family names of some world nobles have been revealed and it has been stated that they are the descendants of 19 of the first 20, it is yet to be confirmed if those families retained their names. These include Figureland, Man Mayer, Jay Garcia, Marcus, Topman, Ethan Barron, Shepard, and Remo Shifu. So, on top of that, so yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. But that's only from the Figureland all the way to Man Meyer, Jay Garcia, Marcus, Topman, Ethan Barron, Shepard, and Remo Shifu. It remains to be seen if they still retain the names of the 20 families that started the world government back then. But those are names to keep in mind. But yeah, overall, this was a 10 out of 10 chapter in setting us up for basically what is going to cause the entire ruckus of Elbaf. The moment the kids get taken, that's when things are going to take off. So yeah, I'm looking forward to next week's chapter in March. Oh! And to think that I'm going to be turning 33 years old next month. And I'm still doing this. I'm happy. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an honor and a privilege to be your entertainer. I'm going to go downstairs, eat some of my food, and then prepare for Sakamoto Days. When I'm done, I am not going to rush eating. So I thank you for your patience if you're looking forward to Sakamoto Days. You've been a wonderful audience. To all my members, to all my moderators, to all my viewers, even people who are just popping in for the first time, lurking and see if I'm worth their time. I just want to say thank you for stopping by. It is an immense honor and privilege to be not only your One Piece reactor, but also your entertainer. All I can say to you is basically, Hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples. It's time to eat!